Hello and welcome back to Leeds United, where we've got Europa League quarter-final action for you today. We're going to do both legs in the slight change of the schedule, depending on the results. And the draw, which you may recall hadn't happened by the end of last episode, has thrown us, well, it's thrown us an old foe. Also, our form isn't spectacular going into this, so I'm concerned. We did beat Everton 4-2 and Newcastle 2-0 in the other two games, but we did then lose to West Ham in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, which I didn't really rotate for, so that's still annoying. But at the same time, it's two less games that we could have this season. And considering the Europa League is going okay at this point, maybe focus on that. Although domestic silverware would have been nice, because we are, of course, second in the Premier League still, which means Champions League football might happen either way. But winning the Europa League, that top seed could be interesting. But yes, you can see it there. The Europa League quarter-final draw gave us Brentford. I didn't see the draw, it just happened. I don't know if I just missed the button for it, but no idea. But the draw happened and we've got Brentford, who clearly beat Chelsea. I don't know if we actually highlighted that last time, but they obviously beat Chelsea in the previous round. As you can see, also the Man United game did move again to May now, but there's a Fulham game in between and there's a Man City game after the second leg. We still have to play Brentford in the league again. And weirdly, at this point in time, Fulham are ahead of Manchester City. Haaland might have 29 goals, but yeah. Oh joy, it appears the under-21s have played today. So excuse me whilst I go all the way down to the under-18s to fill up the bench. That's Topless and Barunas in. But notably, there have been some rather irritatingly large injuries. Tyler Adams is currently injured. Espria is currently injured. He might have been injured anyway. He's barely played regardless. But the big ones, Moukoko and Milovanovic, both of them out. Both of them are now orange injuries, 5 to 11 for Moukoko, 6 to 12 days for Milovanovic. So even the second leg is questionable for both of them. Colwell is returning to fitness. But aside from the striking injury, then we are all good to go. And with the players available to me, I think this is the best arrangement of strikers as well. Karnaseci in goal and Dicker strike for Restamo, Ord, Szoboszlai, Aouar, Livramento, Pedro, Nketiah in the middle because he has the lowest aggression of all three of them, and Gomez on the right. I figured the higher aggressive players in the pressing roles. But yeah, 2 consecutive 2-0 losses. Not going to lie, I'm concerned. And actually, this gives me a chance to highlight one of the World Cup's, and it's a standout player. I wouldn't necessarily say this individual themselves was a standout player, but part of the standout team. You can see in the middle of Brentford's defence there is Achraf Dari, who of course scored in their last game. So yes, that's a name that's obviously elevated itself somewhat in the standings, along with the rest of that Moroccan team. It's an interesting team, this Brentford one. It has actually largely changed, but their form isn't great either. They have Moise Kean on their bench, who I have noticed has scored in 2 games recently, so I don't know if he's become a very good impact player for Brentford. Brentford has scored already. I wasn't really commentating on this as it happened, but Brentford have already gone 1-0 up after 2 minutes, so yeah, concerns warranted. Because we might be focusing somewhat on the Fulham game in between, I was intending not to really commentate overly much over the actual game, but that's 1-0 already to them, although that's Gomez, that's Szoboszlai, that's the post, and, well, he will get the ball there, but whoever that was, Szoboszlai on a corner, puts the ball in, and Dicker doesn't get there. Dari the one to get to that. Szoboszlai back out again, that's not offside, that's a good start. Szoboszlai, where are you going, Dominic? That's Ndicka. Ord. Dominic, where have you gone now? Okay, Ord's mugged the defender off, so that's fine. Gomez is at the back post. Ooh, lovely jump, lovely goal. He does have that jumping reach. We've highlighted that before. The fact he's not like massively tall, but does have the jumping reach. I think it's like 16 jumping reach. I swear it was 17 when I signed him. I remember that being a weird cause of concern. But yes, lovely lead from Gomez. Lovely header. Only 8 goals from him, but he does have a ridiculously good average rating and has been dropped by Uruguay. Yeah, don't know either. Szoboszlai puts the ball in. Pedro's been injured. Oh, that's good. That's what we needed. Another striking injury, although he has just scored. Pulled thigh. We should be able to nurse him through the rest of the match. Replace him with Bamford, who is now our only remaining striker. I have played Gluck a couple of times during this injury crisis as a striker ahead of Bamford just because he's, well, got more pace, really. Pedro finds Nketiah. I might just nurse Pedro to half-time. I'm not going to nurse him to the entire match. Pedro. Szoboszlai, if we can get a few more goals. All right, Dominic. I don't know if Sokosha said something to annoy you during the game, but bloody hell. Nketiah finds Pedro, and then Pedro. That is ridiculous, the movement from Pedro there to completely mug off what was 3 defenders in that process. I haven't really had a chance to have a look at the other games because I actually don't know the draw for the other 3 games because I never saw it. I only know who we got and I never bothered looking. And I skipped through the page when I went through it on our way to the match. Nketiah is not going to get on the end of that. Macias will get on the end of that, but he is sort of double mugged off. And Gomez now, 4-1. All right, maybe we can take Pedro off. Thank you, team, for putting a 3-goal buffer in, and this might actually just make the second leg redundant anyway, and we'll just focus on Fulham as a whole. Nketiah actually really had an opportunity to go himself there. He had nobody behind him, or ahead of him, I suppose. Not the best showing from Sokosha, let's be real. He's had 5 shots on target go against him, and what was that throw? And more importantly, where is the one defender that is still back going? I mean, he is a right back, I suppose. That's weird and concerning. Damsgaard cleared. Pedro chases. He won't get there. Pedro was the one who gave away the penalty in the Spurs match, defending a set piece, I presume. But yeah, Harry Kane did miss that penalty, which I would have been annoyed by if they hadn't then actually scored a second in open play. So we would have lost either way with that one. Szoboszlai finds Ndicka. Oof, another corner. Ndicka scored 2 in the Everton match, I think it was. 1 corner, 1 free kick, I think it was. And there's another one. Yeah, Pedro, mate, you are injured. Bamford on. So it's Atalanta, Feyenoord, Dortmund, Rangers, and Sevilla and Köln. The way Köln were playing, actually, the fact they've got Sevilla, I quite like. Because that will at the very least eliminate probably one of the 3 best teams, or 4 best teams, I suppose it will be. Atalanta, Dortmund, Köln, and Sevilla are my biggest concerns. Obviously, Dortmund and Köln were the only other 2 to go completely unbeaten in the group stage, along with us. And Atalanta only lost to us. So they're the 3 I worry about the most. And Atalanta currently losing, Dortmund winning, Sevilla beating Köln. 2 of those going in our favour. I will do the second leg in the episode, but it will probably just bring you the result and just make sure nothing weird happens. And the draw, if it happens, of course, as well. Keane's just got the ball because the ball accidentally backheeled by the player that it was passed to. Good to see the match engine is working flawlessly now. Okone. Was that deflected? Good save by Karnasechi, though. How is Sokosha on a 6.7? He's conceded 5. Have we had more shots on target that he's actually saved now? Because it was 4 goals in 5 shots on target before this. Szoboszlai. That is ridiculous. If Nketiah is onside here, which isn't even being questioned. Oh, it is being questioned. It was just straight up offside rather than being, is it offside? What a ridiculous assist, though, if that had been. All right, 65 minutes on the clock. I mean, do I bring the youngster on? It's 5-1. Amada Fawar getting from some minutes in. Szoboszlai is booked and probably the most tired of anyone. I might bring Santos on as box is not his preferred role, but I want to get him some game time as well. And we'll save the 5th for emergency. I'm looking at Gomez, who's booked, although I don't have any more strikers to put on. Macias is through. Oh, he's at the bar. I was about to say 5-2. Cancel the striker substitute. We need to score more again. Okay, so Amada to put this in. Veresmo's at the back, doesn't even jump for it, which is always the disadvantage. What are we doing with this ball? Even more confused by what we're doing with this ball. Okay, so everyone's sort of basically back in their original positions now. That's going to find its way to Gomez or Sessegnon, but Almada ultimately, and if that had gone through, that would have been ridiculous. Almada finds Gomez, doesn't find anyone with that. And is it a chance for Brentford after all of this? Ward with an excellent sliding challenge goes to De Silva. Macias now finds a corner who's been completely abandoned. 5-2. Yeah, we won't talk about the 2 defenders that just watched this happen, notably the one on his right, which I presume is Ndicka. Not even a modicum of an attempt to close him down. Ward had to do a few games in a row recently, so Skov on. Final 2-0 up at Atalanta. Rangers equalise against Dortmund. Köln have got one back out of Atalanta. But, I mean, that basically went as good as it could have gone. And don't forget, of course, I did mention at the beginning, Brentford are one of sort of our 2 in-series rivals. Wolves, the other one, but Brentford have been a constant thorn on our sides. They've knocked us out of every domestic competition at this point. It would be annoying if they knocked us out here. But Rangers equalising, Atalanta losing, and Köln losing, they're my 3 biggest worries. Pedro out for a week. Brunis makes his debut. But yeah, he's only scored 7 in the league. He scored 9 in total with those 2 goals. They were his first European goals. But his average rating is 7.47. I don't really know where the average rating's coming from, because his assists aren't spectacular either. Oh, just to really ram home the idiocy of the Uruguayan national coach, Gomez is in the running for Players' Player of the Year, with Haaland, Salah, Raul Jimenez, and Kyle Walker. Yeah, okay, 2 others with a bit of a surprise there. But Jimenez has had a ridiculous season. He is second in the goals with 20. By the way, can we actually just briefly talk about how Liverpool are the only team doing things this season? They're 19 points clear. Okay, we've got 3 games in hand on them, but they've only lost twice. They've won 24 games. We're the next best with 18. Okay, so we'll give a few people a day off here against Fulham. Not too many, just because we do have that healthy 3-goal advantage for the second leg of Brentford, so I'll probably rotate a bit there. But I am going to play Carnesecchi in goal. Colwell returns to the lineup ahead of Ndicka for this one. Strike, Verissimo, or Szoboszlai Armada. It's ahead of Aouar. Recently back for an injury, don't want to push him too hard. He is on a heavy workload. Livramento, Nketiah, Gluck, who isn't registered for the Europa League, Gomez. I never thought I'd be in a situation where I've only got 4 first-team strikers remaining, when I have 7, normally. He does have 5 goals, though, does Gluck. Looks like an early corner. You're going to have to bear with the... Oh, no, it's a free kick. You're going to have to bear with the slightly awkwardly similar kits that have been decided to be used today. I do believe Fulham have a black kit somewhere in their arsenal. I don't know why they're not using it. I think I just killed a throw-in that was in our half there. Good. Well, I said we do this one in depth. Highlight, 18 minutes in. I'm still struggling to work out who's on whose team here, but we'll work on basically on which way people are facing, which isn't always helpful when they turn around like that. Armada, what happened there? Got the ball back though, Verissimo, Livramento. That will get through to Gomez if he's held his run. He's missed anyway. It's a goal kick. This section of the table is actually quite ridiculous. I think we'll count it down to Chelsea, 49 points in 9th. We're second obviously with 60 points as things stand with this draw. 11 points separate second to 9th. It can all change in these last 6 to 8 game weeks depending on which team you are. Colwell, I will get to him. Almada, hooked out to Livramento on this right-hand side. Had a bit of space, defenders had to charge him down a bit. Szoboszlai on the edge of the box, that's gone in. Pretty certain Leno crossed that line there, but the game doesn't think so. And the highlights continued, or annoyingly. Anthony Robertson only passes it to Verissimo. Livramento, Gluck in the box, crosses it for Nketiah. It's an assist for Gluck. Nketiah scores. Probably should just call him Oscar because that's the name that comes up in game. So Oscar. And I also don't know if I'm pronouncing Gluck right. I also realise I pronounce it Nketiah, but it's NK. Like I know it's NK, but for some reason I'm not even sure if that's right. Nketiah, probably, if I was going to do it properly like that. But I had like an extra E to it. Eddie and Oscar up front with Gomez. It's weird. I have no issue with Szoboszlai. Strike. I did recently learn, I know he's gone, but thanks to the World Cup, I did recently learn it's actually Shutalo, but he doesn't play for us anymore, so it doesn't really matter anymore. Almada, Verissimo, Livramento, Szoboszlai, Livramento, down this right-hand side, down to the byline, passes it to Gomez, finds Almada, headed clear, Vegas, and they've found Harry Wilson on this right-hand side. A bit of a janky animation there, but they've got away with it, and Mitrovic hits the bar with a header from the edge of the box. Gomez is having a poor one here. I'm going to swap him and Nketiah. Right back being booked, I'm not keen on. Christensen on. It's only 52 minutes, but the fact that my right back is booked along with Strike and Verissimo concerns me because it means anyone running down that side has basically free reign because we can't put a proper tackle in. And Szoboszlai is indeed absolutely knackered now. Gagliardini will come on there. Ward's also knackered, so Skov on. We might do Armada for... Yeah, let's get a few more minutes in Santos again. We're only 1-0 up, and there's Santos on the ball, immediately losing it. I love it when their slide tackles go to their players. Can I have the cheat code for that, please? Okay, so I think that ricocheted, that cross, and it's fallen nicely to Carnesecchi. Where is he going to go with this? He's taking his time. Colwell, into Strike, out to Skov, which is what I thought was going to happen in the first place anyway. But Skov, still running, finds Bamford on this left-hand side. Bamford into Oscar. Ooh, close. It will be Skov to take this corner. Men in the box. Colwell doesn't really jump for it. He tries to kick it. Spectacular work from Levi there. The ball's at head level and he tries to kick it. 15 minutes of this game thereabouts still to go. Wilson. That's a long-range effort. Actually, that is the highlight. Andreas Pereira. Benrahma has made his way to Fulham. In the box. Strike gets in the way of that. Gagliardini heads down. Heads it to Vegas. Not our own player. Wilson finds Andreas. Skov doesn't get that. And it's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles. The player that goes for Wilson just sort of follows him, and then Pereira goes through Skov, and because the person who's going for Wilson in the first place just sort of ran up to the back of him and then followed him round, means he's not in the right position to actually tackle him in the box. Absolute bandits. There's been 10 shots on target apiece here, and it's only 1-1. I mean, it's a great day for the goalkeepers. Even though both goalkeepers have conceded, they both saved about 10 shots. A good day for FPL managers, minus the lack of clean sheets. Bamford. Tell you what, FPL managers in particular would have been annoyed by that goal for Fulham there because Carnesecchi was on for a huge haul. 9 saves and a clean sheet. That nearly got through. Come on, Oscar. This is injury time. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that didn't go to Mitrovic. I was concerned. He's an aerial presence. He could have got that one down. Christensen. But it wasn't aimed at him, quite thankfully. Christensen finds Oscar. That's his 5th goal of the season. His actual 5th goal of the season was disallowed. I remember that now. It was against Spurs. It would have changed that game because it was 0-0 at the time, but he was about 2 yards offside. So fair enough on that occasion. Fair enough on that occasion. But it is the substitute Christensen to the starter, Oscar, in the middle. Bam. Past Leno, 2-1. 3rd minute of injury time. Only 1 more minute on the clock, and done. Leno still comes out of that game with a higher rating than my goalkeeper. He saved 10 shots. My goalkeeper saved 9. I mean, I get that. But how has he still come out with a better rating considering he's conceded more goals than mine has? 1 assist and 1 goal from the 21-year-old officially attacking midfielder. He's being retrained. Oh yeah, forgot to say, youth intake was utter trash. This was the best guy and the only one with 3 guaranteed stars. Did get to improve our youth recruitment though. We are now exceptional. Okay, letting the people that need a breather have a breather, and hopefully I'll see you at the end of this without having conceded a 3-goal lead. I'll certainly cut in at any point where things start to look a little sketchy. This is the sketchiest of times I can bring you back. They've scored 2 already. And now Gomez is injured, so Sonny Perkins is going to have to play, probably through the middle. Also, 48 minutes on the clock. Gagliardini's booked. The emergency zobbers line, please. Also, I have genuinely no idea what the correct shouters is in this moment because I know it's on an aggregate. So is 5-4 a good thing? Is that a praise moment? Where are we going? Where are our defenders? So good job Pedro's just coming back from injury because, yeah, that would be Milovanovic, Makoko, Pedro and Gomez out. 92 minutes on the clock. It's still 2-0 Brentford on the day. This should easily get to Carnesecchi. We don't need to worry about that one in particular, though he's thrown it immediately to Cresswell, and I'm concerned. Okay, we're in Mr. Zoboslai. Livermanto's on the ball. He's got a bit of space. It's being closed off quite rapidly, and he's kicked it to nobody at all. Both of their centre-backs are booked. Why can't we press them a little harder? Moise Keane is finding space irritatingly on this right-hand side. Got the ball in, and Dick is in the way of it. That's a good start. Aouar intercepted by a man called Castillo. That feels weird to see after having won for so long in the previous save. Bamford finds Perkins. He's gone for it. Good God. Stop having highlights. Unless we're scoring, stop having highlights. I mean, the hell was that? If we can get the ball off them, that'd be grand. Cresswell, what are we doing? 30 seconds. Just get it up the other end of the pitch as quickly as possible. Don't just run away. That's fine. That'll waste a few seconds. There we are. There's 95 minutes. Give it to this number 2 here. I've just pointed to the screen as if it was going to correlate. Or just blow the whistle while he's waiting. Well, by the skin of our teeth. Oh, I didn't see the other ones. That's a decent payout. Ah, cool. 3 months. So Cole got through by winning 3-0. Feyenoord finished the job in Atalanta. And Dortmund annoyingly beat Rangers. So Cole and Dortmund through, but the next best, Atalanta, gone. Am I going crazy? Has the draw already been made? It is Cole. I mean, I would have preferred Feyenoord, but sure. See the side of the Man United game, which has not moved. It has just shifted the day. So I'll obviously bring you back in that period there. Thank you for watching me. If you've enjoyed this somewhat stressful episode by the end of it, but if you've enjoyed it, do like, comment, subscribe, do the algorithms. You've been wonderful so far. I've not said it in a little bit, but I am constantly amazed by the support this series has gotten so far. It is quite remarkable. Thank you very much. Until next time, ta-ra.